Hey everybody, I'm your host Kai, and today we're going to jump into the Reddit Are the Cis Okay, so let's jump into the video.
So the photo's like, remember that angry feminist? This is her today. Okay, but she wasn't an angry feminist. That she was a very expressive person, and the person that took the photo and whatnot just happened to get that particular expression that she was about to make. But throughout the whole thing, she wasn't actually angry at all. But I mean, God forbid a woman show any kind of emotion at all that's negative, because the misogynistic patriarchal society we live in is automatically a judge. And then the other one is Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, I think. And of course, they have to, insult him and whatnot because he has a specially handicapped son. At least I think that's Tim Walz. I might be wrong, but yeah, this is just complete bullshit. Like, again, this is another example of the cis not being okay. And now that I think of it, this might be a transphobic joke as well. Not funny at all. And then this person's like, good news, the HHS has updated Rachel Levine's official portrait at the department to include his real biological name, which is Richard. Biological name? What the fuck is even a biological name? You mean the birth name? A lot of people change their birth names. Nicolas Cage's name is not Nicolas Cage, but you don't have any issue with Nicolas Cage going by a different name, now do you? No, you just have a problem with Rachel here going by a different name because she's trans. But since you all are obsessed with, birth names, then, like this person said on Reddit, said, maybe we should call the U.S. Vice President as James Donald Bowman, since that's his birth name, not his Vance. Maybe we should, since you guys want people to go by their birth names, then J.D. Vance has to go by his actual name, which is James Donald Bowman, not J.D. Vance. Cat profile pic, pronouns, be gone. Dude, we all have pronouns, and I'd probably be with the redneck back. I don't have no pronouns. I'm not one of them people. Yeah, you are. Everybody has pronouns. For instance, if I was talking about the dumbass orange piece of shit that's in office, Donald Trump, I would, and he left his jacket behind, I'd be like, he left his jacket behind, because that word, he, is a pronoun. Tell me you don't know shit about what pronouns are without telling me you don't know shit about pronouns. Everybody has pronouns. Pronouns are used in everyday English language. I should know. I was an English major. Fuck. Well, I'm not sure if this is the correct pronouns, but anyways, it says Kokona reveals that she is a transmasculine, non-binary assigned female at birth, and that she has undergone breast removal surgery. I'm pretty sure since they're transmasculine, the correct pronouns would be he and him, but then this jerk's like, this is why therapy needs to be free. See, and then he thought he could defend his transphobia with this remark: the concept of waking up and being called transphobic when I'm grown gay man. Dude, just because you're gay doesn't mean you can't be bigoted towards another marginalized group. There are plenty of straight people that are prejudiced towards other people that are not the same race as they are. And there's plenty of cis gay men that are prejudiced towards lesbians or even the trans community. So just because, and I mean, hell, there's even trans white women that are racist against black people. So just because you're part of a marginalized group doesn't mean that you can't be bigoted. So you trying to use the excuse, well, I'm a grown gay man, so I can't be transphobic. As again, there are plenty of people in the LGBT community that are prejudiced against other people that are part of the LGBTQ community. Just saying. So that doesn't excuse your bigoted bullshit. So the original post was calling out transphobes when they say they can tell, which they definitely cannot tell who's trans and who's not. And it goes, what girls look like, what trans girls look like. Because the point is that cis girls and trans girls look alike. Like, there's no way you can tell the difference all the time. At all. And then this person's like, X'd it out. Tell me you've never seen a real woman without telling me you've never seen a real woman. Furthermore, in addition, it's kind of transphobic and patriarchal to call out, to say, oh, with the ones that can't pass, to say, oh, look at them, that person's obviously is trans, because that kind of, standard is rooted in patriarchal and Eurocentric standards anyways. So assuming that somebody that you think doesn't pass doesn't always mean that they're trans. Sometimes they're not. And even if they are, again, that's rooted in patriarchal beauty standards from a European-centric view. And it's bullshit, and it's rooted in patriarchy, sexism, and misogyny. And I'm sure all of you have already heard about this way before you even watched this video. But a 20-year-old student was given an F about calling belief in multiple genders demonic, files discrimination complaint. And it's not even discrimination complaint. It wasn't even about what she said about gender standards or about trans people that got her the F. It's that it was poorly written. She didn't list any sources or anything. It wasn't an essay. It was a rant. And so the thing says, 20-year-old psychology student given an F for calling belief in multiple genders demonic, files discrimination complaint. A University of California student has filed a religious discrimination complaint after receiving a failing grade on her psychology assignment when she argued that her belief in multiple gender, that the belief in multiple genders is demonic, contrary to her Christian faith. According to reports, the student, Samantha Fulnecki, says she was penalized not for academic quality but for her religious viewpoint. She claims her professor refused to accept faith-based reasoning while allowing pro-gender theory arguments for other students without issue, which is not at all what happened. Her essay was completely written horribly and looked like something written by a middle schooler. She, in her so-called biblical argument, she couldn't even actually point out actual biblical scripture that backed up what she was saying. So she didn't even quote any actual Bible verses or any sources for her argument. And not only that, it wasn't just the trans teacher, which was a teaching assistant, that said her paper was complete failure. It was other people within that college that also said that her essay was written horribly. There was no backup. Even from a theological perspective, she did not state any sources to back up her claim. It was just, my God says it's bad, so it's bad, which is ironic because the Bible actually doesn't even mention trans people at all. It's not even mentioned in the Bible. So yeah, she's completely full of shit. But the college fired the teacher anyways. Well, okay, put her on suspension anyways, because, you know, they're kowtowing to Donald Trump and like, oh yeah, Donald Trump, we'll do whatever you want, because they're choking on his dick. Furthermore, when you look into Samantha Fulnecki's background, her mom is a member of Moms for Liberty and also is a lawyer who defended the January 6th terrorist and has a lot of connections to Donald Trump. So obviously this whole thing with Samantha Fulnecki versus that trans teacher was a setup. It was a setup completely, once again, to target a marginalized community.
I mean, you didn't send me the bodies of the first three, but okay, I think the first one with the blonde hair was a cis woman, and the lady with the white blazer and brown hair is cis too. The third lady with the blue eyes is cis too. The one with the red glasses is a trans. The orange hair one is cis woman, and the one on the red carpet is trans.
And then the person's like, it was a trick. They're all cis women.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. You just called two cis women trans because they didn't fit your standards of femininity. Femininity. I am so sorry. I cannot pronounce femininity. And I'm sorry. But anyways, that's misogynistic.
What?
And then the person's like, I'll try to explain it clearer. I sent you pictures of 3 cisgender women. You picked out 2 women who you deemed masculine and decided they must be trans. Your idea of what constitutes a trans woman versus a cis woman is rooted in misogynistic beauty standards. It's not just rooted in misogynistic beauty standards, it's also rooted in racism and European-centric idea of what beauty is. Because one of the first people that people attacked when it came to this kind of situation way back when is black women. White settlers, not settlers, that's the incorrect word, white colonizers, when they came to the what is now known as the United States of America, when they had slaves, they used the same kind of beauty standards that they judge trans people with towards black people, towards black women. So historically, black women have been targeted with the same kind of rhetoric that transphobes use on trans women. So yeah, it's rooted in white supremacy as well. But yeah, it's so much for they can always tell, right? Because they're like, oh, I can always tell, but they can't. They can't always tell. And this whole example that the person uses is proof that they can't always tell, because this person showed this person that was a transphobe several different pictures and said, pick out the trans woman, and it's like, oh, this and this one, and none of them were trans. They can't tell. They're liars. So this was on Twitter, I believe. I don't think the person was being serious when they said 52.9% of the population is trans. This was just like a little poll and whatnot, and they were asking the people whether they cis or trans. And the person was trying to show how people will like take a study and be like, oh, half the population is this and half the population is that. So I think the person was poking fun at that kind of idea, kind of thing, by using their same kind of logic to defend trans people. So the person was being ironically or something. But yeah. And so they're like, according to a new study with over 2,000 participants, 52.9% of the population is trans. And I think this poll was to show that there are more trans people than you think. That it's, and that it's not some kind of, abnormality. I'm sorry, I'm having really trouble with words, but you know what I meant. And so, of course, this is where transphobes stepped in and it's like, no, sweetie, that means half of the troglodytes who respond to this poll identify as mentally ill. No, they don't. And the whole concept that people that are trans or non-binary or gender fluid are mentally ill has been proven false time and time again. And I hate when people use this phrase. It's ableist as fuck, just calling everyone mentally ill and using it as an insult. It's very ableist. It's very bigoted language to begin with, for one. For two, there is no evidence to back up your claim that people that are trans, that it's some kind of mental health illness or whatever you want to call it. And the best, even if it was, the best treatment for for somebody with gender dysphoria, for somebody that is trans, is gender affirming care. The cis are not okay. They're just not.
Anybody want to be sick? And then sick face, good day. They're all men.
Okay, like two of these people in this photo, which is an AI generated image, by the way. This is not a real image. So this is AI generated slop. This is AI slop. But two of these people, that this is supposed to be AI generated image of multiple celebrities, two of these people are Janet Jackson and Miley Cyrus, that the United States of America has seen grow up from very little to an adult. And since America's seen it, we have seen that they are not transgender. And even if they were, that's not the insult that you think it is. That's not the flex you think it is, buddy. But the point is that the United States seen these two grow up, and especially Janet Jackson, since it was not commonly acceptable in the time period that Janet Jackson grew up in America. It was not acceptable to be trans, and so there's no possible way that this is even the case and happen. And just, oh my fucking God. Even if any of these women were trans, which they're not, but even if they were, why are you going to be sick? It's mind-numbingly stupid. Like, and the fact that they had to create an AI-generated image, the fact that they had to create AI slop to back up their BS argument is complete bullshit. I don't even get what they were going for here. They're like, oh, I made an AI-generated image so I can be mad about the AI-generated image that I created. And I think this person that tweeted this was, like, being playful, and whatnot, and just being, playful with the little argument. It's like, y'all say a character isn't trans, and then this is their color palette. Which, why would a person, like have a character and then use this color palette, if they weren't meaning the character was trans or supported trans people or, and whatnot, And I'm pretty sure this person was being playful and wasn't actually meaning that. Even though I would say that, that Spider-Gwen, Gwen Stacy in that Spider-Verse movie, it very heavily hints that that character is trans. So, I mean, it is a possibility for her character to be trans. And, like, a lot of people have to remember when, in movies, TV shows, or some kind of media, that colors are very important and whatnot, and usually have a conveying message in media to help with the plot, to help convey the message you're trying to convey. So, I mean, this person has a point. They're like, oh, their character isn't trans. Well, if the character isn't trans, why is you're using that particular color palette that somebody would use to hint that the character is trans? And then this person responds with this. It's like, whenever possible, we love ruining everything. This image is not only transphobic, but racist. Like, this is a white supremacist, racist, transphobic crap. Like, they do some made-up BS image of how both of these marginalized groups look according to their insane psychotic rhetoric. This is disgusting. Like, this person should seek a fucking therapist. This is fucked up. This person is a garbage human being for even posting this. So if this person is watching the YouTube video, which I doubt they're watching my YouTube video, but if you are watching this and you thought this was funny or great, you are a garbage human being, and your mother should have had an abortion.
It's a bit like 1984.
No, it's not a bit like 1984. You don't even know anything about 1984. You don't even understand George Orwell or anything George Orwell said, so don't even use him for your bigotry. But go ahead and continue with your statement.
It's a bit like 1984. Oceania is now at war with Eustasia. Oceania has always been at war with Eustasia. Ellen Page is now Elliot Page. Elliot Page has always been Elliot Page.
Yeah, way to go. That's not their name. Their name is Elliot Page. And yeah, they have always been Elliot Page. It just took Elliot a while to realize that that's who they were as a person. And no, a trans person finding out who they are, their identity, is not at all like fascism. Like, that's what you basically said. That is literally what you said. You said a person being true to who they are and finding out who they are, because every person on this planet has to discover who they are as a person. That's just how humans work. But you basically said a human finding out who they are is like fascism. No, you trying to tell that person that they're not allowed to find who they are. That's fascism. What you said and is not fascism, but what people like you want, that is fascism. Telling people they can't be who they truly are when they're not harming anyone, but you think that you have the right to shove your beliefs and values down everybody else's throat, that's actually fascism. What they're doing is not. They're just being themselves, minding their own business, and then they have to deal with bigots and a-holes like you.
I'm glad I grew up before the whole transgender thing became such a huge thing.
It's always been a thing.
As a young child, I used to say I wish I was born a girl.
You're probably a trans woman then.
If the transgender ideology was pushed onto me as a child, I would have ended up medically mutilated against my will. The fact that people still don't see how harmful this ideology is, it's absolutely insane. Wake the fuck up.
You're most likely a trans woman, but because due to internalized trans misogyny, you believe all these horrible things about the trans community and the non-binary community and people that want to help this community. Okay? And the thing is nobody is having medical operations done to them against their will. I don't even know where you got that. And it's not mutilation. Would you call a knee surgery mutilation? I'm just curious. Would you call a knee surgery mutilation? Would you call a surgery to take out the appendix mutilation? Because gender affirming surgery, it's not mutilating anything. It's just surgery. That's it. But you obviously, most likely, you're a trans woman, this person that made this particular video, wherever this was on, I'm assuming TikTok, but whoever made this video, I just would like you to know that you're most likely a trans woman, and due to internalized trans misogyny, you don't realize that, and you put out and you bought into the anti-trans propaganda. Mutilated against your will. What are you even talking about? Nobody's having surgeries done against their will, you nutball. So this person tweeted, "We must not teach our young girls and women that someone who has a penis all they want to do is rape them," which is true. Not everybody that has a penis wants to rape you. It's just totally and utterly the wrong message. Penises are there for us to enjoy, not fear. And I get where Dr. Helen Weberly was going with this. I mean, it probably came off completely wrong, but yeah, she's right. Like, not everybody that has a penis wants to rape them. And so, yeah, it is the wrong message to send. So I get where Dr. Helen was going with this particular message. I don't think it was phrased the best way, to be honest. And here comes J.K. Rowling to wreck the day. Like, really. Here she comes to wreck the day, being her transphobic, bigoted self. Yes, what better message to teach a young girl that if a strange man gets out his dick in front of her, she shouldn't be afraid but enjoy it. Helen Weberly is a pro-puberty blocker doctor who runs an online gender clinic. What are you talking about, JK? Who is, like, randomly whipping out their dick in front of women other than cis men? But what person, other than strange people that most of society ignores? Like, as far as I know, this is not a common occurrence where people are just whipping out their dicks and telling people to enjoy it. What the hell are you even talking about, J.K. Rowling? I really don't know what she's talking about half the time. She just makes up invisible scenarios that aren't happening, to be mad about scenarios that aren't happening. J.K. Rowling makes up scenarios that aren't even happening so she can be mad at those made-up scenarios that she made up. J.K. Rowling, you need therapy. And it'd be best if you get that therapy now so you can quit taking it out on the rest of us. Get some fucking therapy. So everyone, tell me in the comment section of what you thought of this video, and all that jazz, of what you thought of any of this content. We'd love to hear your feedback. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified of future videos such as this one. And tell me if you think the cis are okay. I think from this video we can tell that the cis are not okay. So anyways, comment down in the comment section. Check the description bar down below for all the links that are usually there and everything. And make sure you give this video a thumbs up to let the YouTube algorithm know you like this kind of content and you want to see more of it. Anyways, thank you for watching. I've been your host, Kai. Until next time, peace out.
Lost in the crowd, hide inside